Welcome, everybody, to another Biz Thrive Snap episode. I am thrilled to bring you small businesses that I'm looking to showcase and for them to showcase themselves in order for them to thrive today, tomorrow, and going forward. Today, I'm so happy and so excited to talk to Carnella Ajasin of Katalyst. How are you, Carnella?
Hello, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Carnella Ajasin, and I'm a mom of two, in the process of divorce, happily, and really just really seeing the bright side of being quarantined. That
Yeah.
it's kind of a time to, reflect, redefine. Really find out what I'm going to do next. Really focusing on not counting the days, but making the days count. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's
Well, that's not mine. It's actually Muhammad Ali who said
well,
that.
I know that. I do. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that. But yeah, hey,
yeah,
but it's so true. We have to
yeah,
make the days count because I can guarantee you 6 months from now, a year from now, especially 3, 5 years from now, we're going to have a really hard time recalling just what this whole thing was. And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
yes, I love that. Make every day
yeah,
count. That's fabulous.
yeah, yeah. So, and in so doing, I also am CEO and founder of a company called Katalyst. And what we do is we help clients develop hardware and software that are really not just hardware and software for hardware and software's sake in terms of technologies, but really developing products that really matter, that make a difference in the world, that is addressing a real need, um, that is really helping the users that it's intended for to really solve real problems in their lives. And
Such
so,
as,
such as we help clients to develop software as it relates to things like vital sign checking for babies who are preemies or something like that, because we do a lot of internet of things types of products.
ah,
We help the client who was in her 60s develop a product similar to Uber because she was a baby boomer and looking at what can she do now with her cars that are in her garage. Her children off to college, and now she's having some grandchildren. And it's like, what do I do with these cars? And so she had this idea at 60 to come up with something. Oh, I wish I had something like Uber. And so we helped her to develop an application that's on both Android and also Apple, where baby boomers can rent out their cars for exchange of funding for that. So really giving her the encouragement, the confidence to feel like, I could become a tech founder too. Her previous career, or at a career at the time, was a marketer. She was not a tech founder at all. And so in talking with her, I convinced her that, you too can be a tech founder as long as it's something that you see a need in your life, other people's lives, that it can serve in a way that can help people to, you know, um, do what really capitalism was really intended for, which is to, you know, give, monies for exchange for a problem that needs to be solved. Not,
mhm,
really anything nefarious or anything like that, but really just pure capitalism at its height. So
right.
we help clients do that type of work. So we do work in virtual reality, augmented reality. We have a client who's working on a product right now. We're working with augmented reality and helping that with phobias and such as a therapist. So, using technology in a way that is very unique and different, but it helps to enhance and to mitigate or to solve, pains, issues, challenges in our daily lives.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
Wow, that's very cool. So someone has an idea or a business problem
Hmm.
and they're like, Cornella, help us.
Yes.
And give us an idea of what that process is.
Sure. So we do have a framework, and the framework is strategy. And strategy really deals with, really defining what your problem is that you're trying to solve. Like
Yes.
that's number one, right? Like, what is the problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah.
And I don't think we have a shortage of problems in the world we live in today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or any day,
Yeah.
for
Right.
that matter. And so once you find out what the problem is you're trying to solve, then who are you solving it for? Who are going to be those customers that you're going to be, or those future clients that you're going to be, really and that's going to be resonating with the product you're actually developing. and then looking at what's going to be that mission, the vision, the problem statement, really cashing that out in terms of, and also what type of platform would it be on. Most people think when they tend to think that, oh, I want to, hi, Carnellia, I want an app. And it's like, we don't just do apps or phones.
Right,
We
right,
also create products for other platforms. There are a multitude of platforms out there you can create a technology product for, and that could be Internet of Things. Like I said, the sock that is linked to an app on your phone that checks vital signs for your preemie, or the virtual reality that's on. You have to use goggles for your patients who have phobias or fears of flying or cockroaches or whatever that is that they have fears of. And really, it's a lot more engaging to help them get over those phobias than just sitting on the couch and talking about it, right? You have to give them some opportunity to experience it in a iterative way, in a controlled way, so that the patient is able to, kind of understand and start walking through, along with the coaching of the therapist, through those fears, right? It actually aids the process of those types of things. So, so that's a strategy. So, like, what platform are you going to be on? Should it be an app? Should it be a video game? Should it be something on augmented or virtual goggles, or should it be eyeglasses for people who are colorblind? Is it a physical product? So we actually create.
You do something for me.
Yeah, I mean, so we can, because there's tons of things. So we don't just do apps for phones, or we also do video game. We also create physical products, like like I said, glasses or something for people who, or I have a client who wanted to do a smart water bottle at one point, and that smart water bottle would track how much water you drink per day, and so things like that. So we actually create the physical product, which is the hardware. Create also the software too.
Okay. And how big or small are these companies that are coming to you?
Yeah, so it's Fortune 500 companies for sure, but we also work primarily with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, just regular people. Like I mentioned, the woman who did the app for Uber, she's an entrepreneur, but completely in a different field than what she's creating now. So,
but you do start with kind of small revenue level companies, as much as corporate companies. So your pricing structure and your
it's accommodating
is flexible.
Absolutely. I mean, we actually are about to launch a program called Purposeful. It's our initiative for women, because I'm finding that a lot of women, a lot of my women clients really don't. Men are like, look, I don't really understand this whole thing, but I want to create this. I don't care if I know it or not. I don't care if I don't have the skill set, the experience. I want to create this. But a lot of my women clients, my female clients, are like, well, I don't have an experience in that area. I don't have a degree. I don't have the education. And it's like, you don't need that. Just go for it. So really, so we want to create a product. I mean, we have an initiative called Purposeful, and so what we're doing with that program is we're actually taking everybody through the same process of strategy, roadmap. Which I don't think I finished the question, but the next phase in our program is roadmap. And roadmap is mapping out the features and functionality that will be as part of your product. And then the last phase of our framework, is execution. So it's strategy, roadmap, execution. So and we take our clients through that, whether they're a big client or a small client. And so through Purposeful, we will be doing the exact same thing with women, but in a virtual learning classroom. So those women will be going through the exact same process, and we'll be doing it in a virtual, it's sort of a virtual accelerator, because we are also raising funds so that we can also give some funds to those women who actually need some startup capital as well.
Okay, so the virtual the virtual classrooms, the virtual training is on that women kind of stepping in and realizing that they can do these things that, we all know that women wait until they're 80 to 90% ready before they, kind of take on a risk, whereas men are like, bring it on. So is this kind of a women business leadership program, or specific to you then being able to help them develop a product or an app or a piece of technology?
It's really about just really helping women who want and dare to take the risk.
Okay.
So whether they feel like they are a leadership role at this point in their lives, and just like, look, I don't care anymore. Given if I can survive COVID-19, it's time for me to do something else in the world other
Right.
than what I've been doing. Okay.
Right.
Because a lot of people are dying on a daily basis. And so if you're still here and you haven't, launched, or you haven't initiated an idea that's been nagging at you for years, and every time you turn around, you're like, "Oh, I thought about that idea. I, I, hey, I had that same idea 10 years ago."
Yep.
Okay. If you want to keep living your life that way, post COVID-19, you know, if you don't want to live your life that way, then Purposeful is the program for you, right? So it's
Nice.
an accelerated program for people to say, look, I'm ready to step up and, you know, solve a problem in the world. I'm ready to have a more purposeful, meaningful product and revenue stream. It could be an additional revenue stream for your business, for your life. It could be the primary because it's so popular.
Yes.
So we're really, really giving women the tools, the confidence, the process, the support to take their hand and say, look, let's go from strategy and move on to roadmap, and then let's execute that baby.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And yes, that's a great program, and I would love to get information on it as you,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
roll it out, and
Yep.
I'd be more than happy to share it
Yes.
within our community and within all my communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
would be awesome. So, apart from what you provide your customers,
Mm-hmm.
like your customers, the users, what are you providing your customers? What are the benefits and the value of Mind Catalyst being there
Mm-hmm.
for your actual customers?
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it's process for one, and then I'm going to start with the first one. So there, we do have a framework and a process that we go through, and it doesn't matter how large or small your company is. It's the same process that we take, and that is again the strategy, the roadmap, and the execution. And so when you're doing it that way, and even in terms of execution for us means getting it out as an MVP. And so what is an MVP? An MVP is called minimal viable product.
Hmm.
What that means is it is not all the bells and whistles. It's not, the house and the kitchen and all the piping. It is just the framework, right? It's just the framework. When Twitter, Facebook, all of these, companies that we know about today, LinkedIn, when they came out, when they initially rolled out their applications, they didn't look anything like they look today. They didn't have the features and functionality that we see today, that we can use today. They just didn't. And so what happens is when people start to develop products, the best thing you can do is just have a basic MVP prototype. Put that out into the world and allow people to give you feedback, right?
Yes.
That feedback, that information, those insights really help you to structure your your product so that you're able to really understand what needs to be pivoted, what needs to be changed,
Mhm.
added, deleted, what makes sense to people, that what didn't make sense to people. We have clients sometimes that they're adamant about, I really, not even caring about what the research shows, right?
Right.
But they're like, yeah, I know what the research shows, but I really know this part of it's going to work, and we have this feature. Oh,
Right.
great. You put that out there, and users show you that, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I prefer this.
Right.
And so you really can't lie with the data shows you something completely different. You have to pivot. You have to have the wherewithal to do so, and just kind of lower your ego, your pride, and do what's best for the product and your clients.
Agreed.
And so so that's the one thing, is the process. We have a process that we do that's consistent, it's predictable, in terms of the process. Now the outcomes are not predictable, of course, but
Right.
the process it is, and it is also predictable.
That's awesome.
So then the other thing that we do give our clients is confidence, right? And so, like I mentioned, our male clients don't need any confidence, but they do need coaching as it relates to maybe dampening that ego and saying, look, it's not all about what you think the product should be. It's really about what the data shows, right?
Right. Right.
So here's the data. It's not me, it's not you, it's data. And then it is what it is,
It is what it is.
Right. And so really helping them to see that the data really is going to drive the innovation for you.
Nice.
And then for our women clients through our Purposeful program, it's really about giving them confidence and saying, look, you don't have to have 80% of it completed. Actually, it would actually do harm to your product if it's 80% complete when you do it.
Imperfect perfection is
Right. It,
how
it,
I,
it must be imperfect perfection
yes,
for sure,
yes,
And if
yes,
you're doing it that way, you're doing it the right way. Because again, as I mentioned, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, they did not look anything like they look today when they first came out. And that was for a reason. That
yes,
is because that's to the world. And so
right.
we help them the confidence to, pry their little hands off the product and let that baby, let it out into the world.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the other thing that we actually give our clients.
Yay! Mind
Oh, thank
Catalyst.
you. Yes.
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 And I love just the idea of, solving big problems,
Yes.
being able to turn ideas into, reality products and services. And that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Tell us, where can folks reach you? How can they contact you? And where are you out in the social world?
Sure. So we're in Twitter at Mind Catalyst, at Mind Catalyst, LinkedIn, Mind Catalyst. We're also on Facebook as well as Instagram. Yes.
Okay.
So we're also in Periscope as well. Yeah, Periscope as
Okay.
well. So they can find it at Mind Catalyst. That's with the Catalyst with a K.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
Right. Yes. Mind Catalyst with the
MindKatalyst.
K.
Yes.
And
Yes.
is there a website? Is there an email address? Is there a way?
Sure. Sure. The website is same as the name, mindcatalyst.com. And the email address is my email address is going to be ajasinc at mindcatalyst.com.
You need to reach out to them, folks, because I
Yes.
know you have ideas. I know
Yes.
you have business problems that you need to be solving. And Carnella and her team could be
Hmm.
that person for you.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Carnella, for being
Yes.
part of Biz Thrive Snap. I
Oh,
so
thank you. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks. And for any of you out there that has a small business and you're looking to get showcased and exposure so you can thrive today, tomorrow, and in the future, then please reach out to me, Bernadette Bose at ballafireinc.com. I so appreciate it. And we'll see you for our next Biz Thrive Snap. Take care, everyone. Bye.